Meanwhile, new developments now in the case of a dream vacation turned nightmare. Two moms from Kentucky say they were raped while on a trip in the Bahamas. The longtime friends were at a beach on Grand Bahama Island with their Carnival cruise ship docked nearby when they say they were drugged and sexually assaulted by two resort employees. The ship, the Carnival Elation, is at the port of Nassau tonight in the Bahamas capital, where the FBI and Royal Bahamas Police are gathering evidence on board. As the investigation continues, we're also hearing from a nurse who attended to these two women in the aftermath, they say, of them being poisoned. NewsNation correspondent Laura Ingle has been following the story from the very start. Laura, what have you learned?
You know, I just got off the phone with this American nurse practitioner. Really interesting eyewitness account. She was on that cruise ship with these two women and also at the beach where they took this day excursion when their morning quickly turned into a day of chaos. The nurse telling me she witnessed the women being attended to in an office at the beach where they reported they had been assaulted and then saw one of the men who was accused of one of their rapes come in to be identified. And Nurse LaDonna Batty telling us staffers asked her to come into the office when they realized she was a nurse vacationing with her husband, as luck would have it. And when she rushed in to help, she saw Amber Shear and Dongala Dobson shaking and crying, disoriented, throwing up, and screaming that they had been raped by two men who were staffers at the Pirate Cove Resort. Now, she told NewsNation, despite the reports, some of the video evidence is not matching up and the horrible comments the women are getting online, she has absolutely no doubt these women are telling the truth.
There's no chance. I've seen it. There's no chance that anything was made up. You can't make up puking everywhere and shaking all over and trembling and being scared to death. You can't make that up. Not a scene like that. That's not something you can just make up.
And here's another interesting note. LaDonna Batty also said she took very careful notes after watching some of the surveillance footage she saw herself while in the office as resort officials were trying to identify the men seen on the tape with the women. That's when they brought one of these guys in to be identified with Shear and Dobson in the room, which caused them to go into a panic state, exclaiming this man in front of them was one of the men that attacked them. Batty says that the man seemed completely unbothered by the accusations and was told to go sit on the front porch. He and another man were then reportedly arrested. Now, the Bahamian authorities and the FBI are reportedly back on that ship today to collect evidence, according to Shear and Dobson's attorney, who told us he received a letter from Carnival Cruise Lines updating him on the investigation. And this nurse tells me she has been in contact with the women daily to help them as an advocate, and says these women's lives will be changed forever after what they've been through, and is encouraging them to get counseling at this point, but is in contact with them and is very thankful that she was there that day because they almost didn't take this excursion.
What a stroke of luck. And wow. So evidence being gathered right now by Bahamian police and the FBI. To be continued. All right, Laura, thanks. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.